So, hello, I am Lag Spike City. Hopefully once people stop joining, that will calm down. We are being recorded. I'm gonna turn my audio off so it's cleaner. Cool, so hello, welcome to the Pooks and Company panel, content creation. How hard could it be? Really? How hard? It's really hard. It's not easy. It's not easy.
It's hard.
Anyways, as you can see, we are missing our friend Lena. A minor, mild family emergency they are taking care of. They will join us shortly. Star Centurion has joined. Mama M3 fixed the event. If you're joining because of that, M3 has now crashed. It looked like, I don't know. Either way, we seem to be good to go. And in the future, changing the time of your event does in fact unmark it for broadcasting, we have learned.
Maybe? I don't know.
It did. We were marked as broadcasted, we changed the time, then we were not marked as broadcasted. Anyways, it's all
Sounds
fixed
like
now.
A skill issue.
We're all
Yeah.
fine. We're good.
We're back to normal. Okay. Cool. I think we're settled out. Can we have if y'all are ready to start the panel, type gaming in the chat. I'm gonna steal Atlas's thing again because it works.
Can we
gaming in the chat?
Can we
Frank Con has typed Frank Con.
I want
Not Frank
gaming.
Con.
Yes.
We got some gamings. Okay, fantastic. People are here. People are responding.
Beautiful.
This is going to be the most professional panel you have seen all of RecCon. I don't know what you've seen, but this, hands down, it's not true. It's not going to happen. It's going to be really bad. We're missing one of our people right off the bat. We are starting out strong, people. I know what I'm doing. They gave me a room. I'm a professional.
Hey,
I got a gift.
3 out of 4 is 3 out of 4.
We'll have our fourth soon. Anyways, welcome to the Pooks and Company panel on content creation. How hard could it be? So this panel is going to cover what Pooks and Company is, what we do on the interwebs. We're gonna... Lena is not online, is she? Lena is taking care of a family emergency, so unless Lena has popped online... when she comes online, you dragging her here would help, if you're still here, but... Anyway, so for those of you in broadcast instances, I am talking to Star Centurion. The technical details, not important. Anyways, I have an outline that is no longer on my screen, because, as I stated earlier, I am a professional, and therefore know what I'm doing. Great, yes. Okay, I found my outline, look at me. Alright, first of all, what is Pooks and Company? Pooks and Company is the online content creation company that I started about 2 or so years ago, and throughout that time have grown into a YouTube channel that has gained a small amount of traction in the Rec Room community, as well as a contest team where we make contest videos and contest rooms that you can see on our left and right are our 2 most recent. Meg will be talking about those in just a sec because Meg's top builder in Pooks and Company. So, yeah, so that's what Pooks and Company is. All of the video work, because that's mainly what Pooks and Company does, can be found on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/Pooks221. The link is down on the doohickey thingy in the text tool in the front, assuming it hasn't broken in your instance. Anyways.
Right there.
As well, before we get started, I will say we have an official Discord server. It's called the Pooks Club Discord server. Off to the left and right, you can join by typing in that link into your browser or into Discord. We are currently looking for actors and builders and extras and set designers. We pull from people on Discord for all kinds of different reasons. When contests come up or little projects come up, and you can work with me, Meg, Goose, Lena, who will show up soon. So, that's enough rambling from me, I believe. And I am going to start introducing our actors and builders. Oh, yeah, don't send us gifts at the moment. We appreciate them, but wait until after the event. I'm going to throw this over to Meg first. Amazing lead room creator, set designer. She'll talk about all that.
I build stuff.
Woo!
Yeah!
Professionalism, people! We know what we're
Yes!
doing! They gave me 2 time slots this year. Why? Anyways, no.
This is
Oh, it looked like my monkey crashed. So Meg, I will fill in. Lead set designer, actress for Pooks and Company, works in skits, she appears in some of my TikToks. Never really knows what's going on in the TikToks, but she's there.
Not at all. I'm too old
But
to
yeah, no.
understand the tickety talks,
Hmm.
but I enjoy just being um part of it and help out with like acting, even though I'm a terrible actor. But yeah, I enjoy building the sets specifically for a lot of the things because it's cool because it's like a miniature project. So you can really get done in a small amount of time, but it's all encompassing and all in one small package.
Yeah.
And it's just a really fun project that way. And obviously, I also built bigger projects like Party at Sea and Toy Box Town, as well with Lena. She's also the main builders for the contests. And this is
Who
the
is
guy that
absent?
usually comes up with the idea for the contests and bring it to life.
Yeah. Alright, then off to my left, your right, on his own couch, we have Goose. I will introduce you. Goose has been acting for me in my skits for just about 2 years. Wasn't in my first couple of videos, but Goose joined on very early on. Realized I was a pain in the neck very early on, but for some reason has stuck with me. I'll let Goose talk about a little about what he does.
Hey, I'm good with dealing with pains in the neck, okay? I myself am a pain in the neck, but we manage. Yeah, I've been acting. I started my Pooks and Company career in Rec Trek. That was a blast.
Oh wow, yeah, that's
And
going back a long time.
yeah, ever since then, I've been, working with him. He's gotten me into editing my own videos and just being out there, interacting with other people he works with, and it's been a blast. It's been great, and I'm glad that I'm here with lovely people. And
For those of you
hope this
in other
this
instances, our fourth has just joined. We will get her broadcasting ASAP.
oh
You're just in time for introductions, so shoot me a request to broadcast and I'll send you out to the masses. Holy cow.
wait for it.
Lag.
Wait
Hold on, Lena, in 10 seconds. Okay, you're good to go.
wait for it. Wait
Beam
for
her
it.
in. She's in.
Hey!
Okay, can we have
Hey!
gaming in the chat if we can all see and hear Lena? Preferably not if you're in the main instance.
Can we get Lena in chat?
I heard
Gaming.
a little more. Oh yeah, gaming.
Thank you,
Yeah, I'm practically Atlas at this point, like literally the same
Let's-
person. I know how to build a square, he knows how to build a square, same person. Anyways, okay, so we were just introducing ourselves. This is Lena. Been working, well, okay, so I've known Lena for nearly 3 years, just about. Been working with her for a year and a half, 2 years almost as long as Goose. Amazing set builder, prop designer, room person, yeah. So you can talk about yourself, we're just kind of explaining who we are, what we do.
Thank you very much. That was very sweet of you. No, the very first thing that we ever did was we made a prop. Well, he came to me about making a prop for a video, and it was the Amazon Alexa prop.
Mm-hmm.
That one.
Yeah, so I asked her to make an Amazon Alexa, and she took it upon herself to make a scale model, 1-to-1 of an Amazon Alexa. And I recorded the whole thing and put it up as a time-lapse on YouTube. Arguably a very too long time-lapse, but still a time-lapse nonetheless. And it was just a ton of fun. We chatted the whole time while you were making it, and it was quite a struggle to get a 1-to-1 Amazon Alexa, but we did it. We didn't need to.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
back
We did
in the that was back in the Stone Ages. like
I
Right,
know,
where-
it was all
it was-
made of
like-
cardboard. It was
Yeah,
all made of cardboard. There were no textures, nothing.
no textures, no nothing.
Yeah.
Had those wonky squares.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, all of the videos we talk about will be able to be found on the YouTube channels. So, yeah. Go check that out at a later date if you want. Or not. I don't know. Like I said, top
Link's right there.
professionalism right here. Top professionalism.
Yeah,
Anyways,
you can
if
go back
I'm...
and look at that video and see what
You can-
used to be considered amazing building.
And so I'm looking at
amazing
our
how things
very...
change.
I'm looking at our very important outline that we are definitely going to follow. And section 1 I have marked as video creation. So we're gonna flow right into Pooks and Company making videos. So we'll be serious for a minute, talk about actual video creation, and then we'll be silly and talk about all the things that go wrong. So I am generally a skit creator, and the people on these couches generally work with me to make those skits. So all of these people here have acted at one point. Lena has done some voice work for me because of your amazing vocal range. So props to Lena. But I'll start out. I first generally at 5 o'clock in the morning is generally when it happens. An idea will fall and hit me in the head. I will then hastily take out my phone and open up a notepad and write down a script of 15 to 30 lines between a couple of actors. They won't be proofread or checked, and half of it probably won't make sense. But that's what I go with. And then I ship
Can
it over to
confirm.
Meg. I then ship it over to Meg, and I'm like,
Can
Meg,
confirm.
how is this? And Meg is like, I don't know, I can barely read it. But we eventually decipher what I wrote at 5 in the morning. And then I commission Meg, with the help of Lena sometimes, to build a set.
Yep.
So then we have a
And
set.
so-
Half of the script has like 30 spelling errors. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It'll
if you
essentially be
ever-
in hieroglyphic.
If you ever interact
Yeah.
with me in a written sense, Discord, texting, DMs, spelling, not something Pooks is good at. Never claimed to be. Spelling bad. Spelling no good. I don't even bother trying at some point. So if you ever get the unfortunate chance to work with me and have to read one of my scripts, I apologize in advance for the deciphering you'll need. For any of you following the Forbidden One and all those ciphers you'll need to decipher, it's basically like that. So, anyways, I
It's
digress.
just
But
him.
we get a set.
at like 3 in the morning.
We get a set.
But most of it
Yep.
has no meaning.
Okay, we get it. Pooks can't spell. Pooks also has a cold and he's been talking all night. Professionalism, guys. Top notch. So we get a set. We have a set. We have a half a script. We got a set. Then I'll pick a date for filming and I'll announce it on my Discord server. I'll ping some roles that I have set up that you can all grab. No special tryouts to get. I'll ping some roles and say, actors, extras, we are doing an event, recording a skit at this date, at this time. That date and time will come up. Everybody will pile on into a room. I'll give you all scripts, ask you to say a few lines, determine who says what, bippity boppity boo, take out the streaming cam, bada bing, bada boom, Bob's your uncle. That's basically how it's supposed to go. But as
I
these
wish
three
it's that
people can
easy.
tell you, it never goes like that. I think
I
we
wish
should.
it was that easy.
I think we should first talk about the car extended warranty skit, because that was fantastic.
favorite.
So, the only skit that all four of us have simultaneously worked on was a skit based on the joke where people were asking you to extend your car's extended warranty. The premise of the skit was I was up on a cave in a mountain, snowy, secluded, and somebody trudged up the mountain to deliver a very important message. We had a conversation, and the message turned out to be that I needed to extend my car's warranty. That's the joke. Sorry if you haven't seen the video. Plot ruined. Anyways, so Goose over here. Goose was my insurance? Yes, lisp. Good job. Insurance salesman, trudging up the mountain. Meg over here built the set. Lena did voiceover work and some circuit work at the end. And everything was going well. The set, Meg, you had no problems with the set. Things were good. I worked with Goose for nearly 2 years, so we were trudging along. And we were recording most of it. And then we got to a section where we realized that Goose had a backpack on. Lena made a Maker Pen backpack. And Goose needed to remove that backpack, but it was attached to a dummy, and we had to attach it to something that he could remove. So, Goose, you had to deal with this backpack. You can speak about the backpack.
Oh boy. Alright. Now, first and foremost, this backpack was awesome, okay? It looked great. It fit the scene. It held the letter. It held very. Now this backpack, it was wrong. It had a couple things, wrong with it. First and foremost, it was a shield. Okay, we used a shield to,
Yeah, we clamped the
because you're gonna
backpack
put
to a
a
shield
on your
to
back.
put it on your back. Made
Yeah.
sense to us at the time.
But the shield was, really small, so you couldn't see it. Well, every single time that I tried to pick it up by the shield, or no, pick it up by the bag, it always transported 5 million miles away from it. And I'd always have to, grudgingly go up to Pooks and be like, hey, I broke you.
So, about 15 minutes into working with this backpack, because it was in several scenes where it had to be taken off,
It was more like two.
it felt
more
like
like two.
50. We had Megan lean on backpack duty, because Goose would take the shield off and drop it, and just because Rec Room physics, it would just ping off into space, and I'd just be sitting there setting up the camera for the next scene, and I'd just see all of them race off, and I'm like, oh, there goes the backpack again. Whee!
Yeah, we
No.
always have to fly up and then this again. All right. Come
So
on.
and since the shield was a weapon, it emitted a small green beam of light, being a pick-upable weapon. So we all had to fly in the air and scour the void. Where's the beam of light? It was.
Yeah.
And so that wasn't too bad. And so the skit continued, and we got through the backpack, and we were done with the backpack scene. We deleted it. It was too worth our trouble. And then who came up with the idea at the end?
It was no, it was someone else. Someone else there, right?
Did I? Did Lena?
No, it was just of course. Was it Lena?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure whose idea it was.
Anyway,
Yeah,
we
about
came up.
Throne.
We came up with this top-notch idea. It was a couple of days after Seats had been released. And the three of us had been experimenting in private rooms what you could do with Seats, and that you could pick other people up, and you could attach people to things using Seats, which was really cool. So, I believe Lena came up with the bright idea that at the end of the skit, I would take Goose and look like I was holding him by the collar and throw him off a cliff. So, we had... Who exactly made the circuits for that? Because they were so broken. Was it... Lena, you made the circuits
Well,
for
I
it.
They
tried.
were really
I tried it, and then Lena fixed it.
Yeah.
Do you remember how those circuits went? Because it was really convoluted. Yeah, I had to step in a spawn to get...
It was essentially where you connect the chair to a gizmo and connect that gizmo to a gizmo and connect that gizmo to a cube or
A
whatever.
cube,
Yeah.
Mhm. So, and then that cube would be grabbable, and we could place that cube inside of his player model. And then it could look like I was holding Goose. And that
And
cube had
you
physics.
also had to be holding it when he sat down. It was like this entire
That's right, yes. It was a
convoluted
very
system of steps.
step-by-step process, or I couldn't hold Goose, because the game wasn't made to hold people. That wasn't the intention of Seats. But we were like, oh, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna throw Goose off a cliff.
This is too.
So we got
perfect.
everything
It's
set
too
up.
Good.
We got everything set up, and the best
Luckily,
part
he doesn't
is
get motion sick.
the
Oh
cube
yeah, no. It's
was
not used to
inside
that.
of Goose's player model, and Goose's player model has physics, and the cube has physics. So when I let go of the cube, the physics of the cube hit the physics of Goose. And the game kind of has a stroke and sends
Oh no
Goose
no
to
no
space.
no 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 what that wasn't the problem. It was myself grabbing me, because it was
Oh,
like it was
that's
sticking
right.
out. It was sticking out from me, and I was like, ooh, what does this do? And then all of a sudden I
That's
just get
right.
soared.
So
I just
Goose
soared.
Goose is sitting there on the seat and grabs the cube, and because Goose was in the chair and the chair was connected to the gizmo and the gizmo was connected to the cube, and when it was a loop, and yeah, we created an unintentional space program with Goose and these seats just ping. Yeah, I'm getting ready, and I'm like, okay,
First,
Goose, I'm gonna grab you, and I just look and I hear Goose going. Ah! How in
first
space?
Goose in space.
The first ever Goose in space. That's fantastic. Yes. So that's that sketch. Now we do have tons of other fun anecdotes about sketches that I will get to at the end. I have a section for it at the end, but that's just the main one since we all worked on it. But that's video creation, and it never goes as planned. And I've had skits that have like 15 lines of dialogue that take 3 hours to record. It is just great.
Yeah.
Actors, direction following, 100%. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing.
We
Clearly.
didn't even mention the 30 minutes that we spent with Lena trying to get her to like say only a couple lines.
Oh,
Cause
yes.
like
Well, I
the game,
haven't even.
the game
Oh yeah.
Oh, so Rec Room.
that was just
Rec-
plain annoying.
Rec Room recently has introduced a wonderful bug where sometimes, for no apparent reason, people's voices will randomly cut out while they're speaking. It might be happening to me, to all of you. Who knows? Just randomly happens. Which means getting recordings for voice lines is very difficult. And Lena had a beginning monologue to say of 3 sentences. 3 sentences is not hard. It's really short. It took like 12 seconds to say the whole thing. And it took like 45 minutes to get that recorded because we attempted to record it naturally with her speaking it through her microphone a bunch, and she kept cutting out and we were losing important parts of the sentences. And then it was Meg suggested, I think, did you suggest the sampler idea?
The recorder, the sampler, I think.
So Meg suggested that Lena record her audio into a sampler because that doesn't pick up server delay and lag. So Lena fed the lines into a sampler. We rigged the sampler up to circuits to play the samplers, and then I recorded the samplers. It was the woo Rec Room bugs.
Yep.
But yeah, that was kind of fun.
Lena, your hand is...
Lena, your hands
Oh, there
went
you
to
go.
space as well.
It was trying to escape, I guess.
It was getting
It
bored.
was like that for
The
a whole
gaming in the
30
chat,
seconds.
if you're having fun. If you're not, I don't know. Say boo.
Hey,
It
check
is
your-
a robot hand, you know, it's doing its own
check
thing.
your Make sure to check your hands every once in a while.
Yeah, check your hand, make sure it
Yeah.
hasn't escaped into the stratosphere. Ugh. We got some gamings in
We're
the chat.
still
Okay.
gaming.
Cool.
We're
Gaming.
still-
Gaming.
We are still gaming.
I don't get why we game, but that's an Atlas thing. I stole it from him. He can fight me. I got that on recording. Anyways, moving on. Moving on away from Atlas. I have here a section where Meg talks about set creation, emitters, effects, and basic circuits. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So
Cool.
with the set creation, you typically want to use, especially for different effects and things like that, different emitters for like, the fog on the top of the mountain where we were yeeting Goose over here and things like that.
Quick
and
fog.
I do remember one specific really fun time that we were messing with circuits, and this was like really early on before I was working for Pooks and Company. That was before, actually, when we were doing the Rec Studios tour, and we were trying to record the opening where you had to walk backwards and I had to follow you, and we were trying to actually like walk at the same cadence the entire time. And we straight did that for like 30-45 minutes and failed.
We tried
over
walking
and
for
over and
45
over
minutes
again.
at the same time, and it was horrible. This was before we could attach a streaming camera to a gizmo for those PC players who are out there.
Yeah, for that specifically. But then, of course, I just had the idea, okay, invisible collision. wire it to a piston, make the piston play, and we're both on the on the invisible collision as we go forward.
We made a makeshift dolly using me and the collision with you standing in front of me.
Yep. So it worked out really well. It was just like really early on that I was working with you, and just something so simple can make such a big difference in trying to film something, because there was just no chance that we were going to ever get in sync with that shot. So it was very neat. That's just the one thing that comes to mind when I think about specifically circuits that help the filming of it and things. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty simple.
Cool.
Are you guys seeing that floating doll too?
Yeah, someone's holding it. Speaking, since in our instance we are seeing a floating doll, if you want to support Pooks and Company, there are inventions in our PNC shop in the back there, and donations that get split between the owners of this room, which all work for PNC. So you can
Senior
go.
butter.
Yeah, there's a little stick of butter back there. Senior Butters, best invention on the entire invention store. You won't see a better one. Nothing to do with Pooks and Company, but Senior Butters is pretty epic.
Comes from
So go purchase Senior
a
Butters.
very prestigious line of butter.
We don't demand. We only ask. We understand if you don't want to part with your tokens. No worries there. Just a small self plug.
It's no big deal.
Money
It's
is
not
nice.
like,
Senior Butters is
if you
joining
don't,
us on
we
stage.
Senior
won't be
Butters
there.
has joined the front of the stage in our instance.
Hey.
That's amazing. Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Anyways.
Look at that.
Anyways. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. I guess we'll now talk about some content creation over on the YouTubes. We'll talk about contests first. Video contests. So Pooks and Company has done a couple of video contests. Goose, were you in the Avengers skit for the movie recreation? I don't believe so.
think I was.
Okay.
No, I was.
So Pooks and Company has made a few skits for contests. It's not really my thing, apparently. We've never really hit that mark of getting it quite right. But our most recent skit, which Meg helped participate in, I'm seeing Velp's message.
Yes, just do these few things. 3 hours later. Yes, it is super accurate.
Yes,
Super accurate.
exactly. Anyways,
It's very.
that is extreme. Yeah.
apologize.
So, content creation. Our most recent contest entry was a joke. So, Harry Manlegs and Emily Waffle J, love both of them. They work for the creative team, making videos over there on the YouTubes for Rec Room, and they host the video contests. So, they put out an announcement saying, the next video contest is live. Your job is to recreate your favorite YouTube video between 1 and 3 minutes. And I was like, cool. And I checked the length of their video.
Oh.
And their video was 2 minutes and 30-some seconds. Which meant it was a video on YouTube between 1 minute and 3 minutes. So, in our infinite wisdom, frame for frame, Meg and I recreated, with the help of Redbeard, wonderful, wonderful person, recreated frame for frame their announcement video. And I did get confirmation. They were both very amused. So,
It was.
that's something you can go check out.
I got to. I did get to proofread that.
You did. You previewed
I was
it.
one of the. I was one of the proofreaders, and he was like, "Hey, there's no spelling mistakes, nothing." And I was just sitting there laughing, like, "Oh my god, this is like actually the same thing."
In
Like,
terms of editing,
interesting.
it might be the best copy of something I've ever done.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's like it was literally like on par. It was great.
Frame for frame. We tried our best. You can go
It was
check that out
super
over
fun
on the
because we also
YouTubes.
tried. Yeah, we also tried to make sure that we captured all of the same like hand positions and posture and everything of the person that we were. I was Harry Madlegs
I
stand-in.
played Emily.
Yeah, it was brilliant. And
The
like
more
just
talking.
you find that they stand in weird ways for some reason. It's probably because of their environment or anything like that. Like nothing, but like you're just trying to copy someone else's movements, and it feels so unnatural.
I also never realized Emily must be left-handed because she gestures everything with her left hand. I am right-handed, so that learning curve, doing all the thumbs up and Harry, didn't Harry keep his hand out like this the entire
Yeah,
time.
yeah, I don't know if he was reading something on his hand or something, but like his hand
It
was
might have been
always in the
like
same
OVR
position
Toolkit.
a lot of times. Yeah,
Reading a
exactly.
script,
It was
yeah.
really cool stepping into
Just,
someone
just
else's
emulating
like
what the support did.
mannerisms. Yeah,
We had a
it
blast.
was really
That
neat.
was fun. But yeah, Pooks and Company
Oh,
would like to
boy.
get into more advanced content creation for videos. We'll get there. It's what we say at Pooks and Company. We'll get there. We'll win something
Your
eventually.
voice.
Anyways, we're gonna move
Win
in
something eventually.
smooth transition into room creation because Pooks and Company
Oh,
does that too. Pooks and Company temporarily is our name for our
there it
contest
goes.
creation group. So, 4 contests of the maker pen variety, we make rooms. Our 2 latest, which I am so proud of our teams, are there. We got Toy Box Town over on my left, your right, and Party at Sea, which is an almost 1-to-1 rescale. Words. 1-to-1 scale recreation of the Carnival Vista, the flagship of the Carnival Cruise Line fleet. Meg is
That
lead
thing
builder,
is
MVP, amazing. Lena, detail work is just off the charts. All the rest of my team is amazing. But enough gussing,
That thing is awesome.
gushing. Well, I'll throw this
That
over
thing
to the
is-
buildy people, because I don't know the difference between a tube and a square. I do circuits and sound and everything else.
Square.
I have
He got
the
himself
maker
sorted.
pen ability of I don't know what's something that
A
there are
toddler.
floating objects in our face. I understand that is very amusing and we are being the most professional at this panel. So if you could not, in the main instance, make objects float over our face, we're trying to keep
Would
the
appreciate
most
that.
professional atmosphere here at the professional Pooks and Company panel.
Here,
Did I
give me-
mention we're
give me some earbuds.
professionals?
Give, just give me some
Professional.
earbuds.
I know what I'm
I'm a
doing.
whole
2 time
senior
slot
buddy.
this year. Yeah, this is the last time I'm invited back to anyways.
Well,
Anyways.
as far as content creation goes, I rely very heavily on this one for coming up with ideas. Because like it feels like every time they announce a contest theme, I'm just like, what? What do you even make for that? And it just
What are
feels
we
like
supposed to do?
my immediate response to every contest theme for some reason. That being said, we typically will brainstorm for the first day or so of several different ideas that we might want to take on and eventually try and, pick one from the list as relatively quickly as we can so that we can get started. With Toy Box Town, that went really well. Once we found our idea, we were all like, boom, that's it, right? And we executed on it and had a lot of fun doing it. For Party at Sea, we
Blast.
had a bumpy start, but we eventually got into the groove and managed to get that
In the
done,
groove
and
you
that was super
did.
fun. Yeah.
That thing is awesome.
Oh, thanks, man. And
It's
then
really. I
one
mean,
day
it's
I
like really, like, it's huge, and that's it.
Thanks. And then one day I just had the thought that I can build a better hot tub, and I was like, hot tubs are one of my favorite things on the planet, and I was like, I'm gonna animate the bubbles and everything for this hot tub.
I
So
don't
did,
know if
and that's
keep going.
kind of my favorite thing.
I don't know if you've seen a lot of hot tubs in Rec Room, but I would stake tokens on this next statement. That hot tub in the 3rd subroom of Party at Sea might be the best dang hot tub I've ever seen in Rec Room. I don't know how many you've
without a
seen,
doubt.
but it is a damn good hot tub, and you can take that statement to the bank.
Fully agree. Fully agree. All the way.
It's super fun though.
Yeah.
I love that hot tub, and it's just one of those cool things that come out of like you have an idea to do something, especially in a contest. And it's great. Like she made the customer service thing where it rises up and it's actually our like and cheer buttons, which is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's fun to get kind of like just random off the wall. Thanks, Megan.
So I will.
As the idea. There.
So I will start. So that all sounds well and good, and the team meshes really well and works really well. But as the name starts, how hard could it be? There are always ups and downs, and I will say
Yeah.
my favorite anecdote from Party at Sea. So Lena over here, along with one of her underlings, that's what I'll go with. They built a
Underlings,
scale
so
recreation of a cruise ship. There's a full cruise ship, front, back, top, bottom, cruise ship. Well,
Beautiful
part of a
ship.
bottom. Beautiful cruise ship. It's giant. It's enormous. It's the scale of a cruise ship. It's amazing. It's wonderful. So I shrunk it down so it was more compact so I could work with it and saved it as an invention in case I wanted it later. Well, we're finishing up the final subroom, which has Meg's amazing hot tub, and we had a space of an empty space. Words are hard. Professionalism. We had an empty space, and I was like, oh, I know what I want to put here. So I spawn in the cruise ship, which is what,
Uh-oh.
23 ink? How much ink was it? It was a lot.
Somewhere around that ballpark. About 20.
It was like 23 ink, which was ridiculous. It was not feasible in the slightest. And I was like, Meg, I want a tiny model of the cruise ship right here in a glass case. Right here. Boop. Tiny cruise ship. And I was like, I don't know what you gotta do. I don't know how the Maker Pen works, but if you can do it, amazing. And I don't know what you did. I don't know what, because
This was also before we added all of the holotars that we still needed to add
That's
to the room.
right,
Which
we
is
needed to add
also,
6
like,
holotars to that
30% ink.
room. So I don't know what magic Meg did, but I came back the next day, and lo and behold, for 7 ink, our cruise ship sat in a nice glass case. So I don't know what wizardry magic you work
It was
with your.
honestly about 3 or 4 hours of going through and deleting anything that was too small to be seen once it was shrunk down, and making sure every little thing was possible was merged to it. Just deleting some little details nobody would notice, kind of deal, because it was going to be so small.
Mm-hmm.
And just general ink preservation, which is very important when you're working in contests. Learning how to work with ink is incredibly important.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I'll then say,
This one
since we
is an ink monger.
I
I'm
am.
saying. He will
So
report
we
Putting it
what
lightly.
percentage of ink we are on every
We
single
will start a
time we're in the room.
contest day 1, and we will be at like 15% ink, and I'll be like, oh my god, Meg, we're already at 15% ink. What are we gonna do? Right off the bat, I'm like, oh, jeez, we're gonna run out of ink. What are we gonna do? Well, day one,
He
I,
keeps us on track with ink.
Oh yeah.
I'm deaf. That's what I don't do much, but that's what I do. I'll say one thing. I want to commend Lena for one thing in Toy Box Town. Amazing room. We shrink you down to the size of a Green Army Man soldier, and you explore a whole world underneath a kid's bed. If you want to see a weird, giant, freaky holotar of Pooks sleeping in a bed, you can
Yeah,
see that
we did that.
in Toy Box Town.
Mhm.
I don't recommend it if you are prone to nightmares, but giant weird Pooks with his eyes open sleeping. I recommend heading over there. Anyways,
I'm
so
finally getting that song out of my head.
which
I
one
still have the
specifically?
tone. Can't put it together, but I have the tone.
That's another big part of building rooms. When you put the music in the room, it's probably best just to turn your music off when you're working. Otherwise, you will hear the song in your sleep.
So somewhere
Yeah.
beyond the sea. This is an anecdote in
Mhm.
the anecdote. Somewhere beyond the sea. Is that the title of the song? That's what I'm gonna
I think
call
it's
it.
just Beyond the Sea.
Beyond the Sea is a lovely song. It's used in our 3rd subroom at Party at Sea. Well, I put it in quite early into the building process, and for some reason kept my music on for a good portion of building over the next several days and even weeks, and by the end of the contest, I think I was reciting that song in my sleep. Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me. It was just constant, just droning. Droning.
no, like
Droning.
as soon as you showed me the
Yep.
room, there was no lyrics at all. I just started singing. So
It's a
I
very
can't
catchy
imagine
song.
like yeah, I
Very
can't
catchy. Amazing.
I can't imagine working in there for like days on end and listening to that song for so much because I would never get it out. Oh
So
man.
I'm gonna rewind back to my anecdote of Toy Box Town and Lena. So I love sound design in Rec Room. I import music and I love it. I find it fascinating. And since Toy Box Town is shrunk down and you're supposed to be a toy, we needed clever ways of getting music into our room, and we wanted a couple music tracks playing in different areas. So we had a cozy nook area with a tea light as a campfire, and I knew I wanted some kind of romantic type music playing there, but I couldn't think of a way to deliver it. And then I don't know how you came up with the idea or what happened, but I come back, and Lena, in her infinite wisdom, has made a wonderful little earbud that is hanging over a nail at the bottom of our bedpost. A giant earbud, looks like the standard style you'd get with a CD player in like 2002, 2003. And we pumped the music from there, so just no real funny bits here, just props to Lena, because I love that little detail, and it's things like that that can really
Absolutely wonderful, yeah.
it can step your
Oh,
room up.
yeah.
Like, the room itself is great, but those little details, like, underneath the bed there are springs poking out from the bed frame that Meg built, and glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling, and one of our other team members made some bugs on the windowsill, giant pill bugs. Just little things.
Oh yeah,
Little things.
Pablo the pill bug and his family.
Yes.
things matter.
Meg, you're heading out soon, right?
Crap, what time is it? Yes. I will be heading out. Anybody have any questions for
Okay,
me?
so we're gonna do questions
anything?
for Meg, since Meg is heading out soon. You can send them to me or
I
her,
don't.
or in the chat. You friend her if she's not your friend. You can friend me as well. Oh, that is a lot of friend requests.
know one thing that I've been
I've been
doing a lot more. I started working with you, Meg, is
Mhm.
the importance of imperfection.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I really feel after I took that to heart, like, builds have gotten much better. Because, like, those little, like, if you see a house, it's never going to be perfect. And having just, like, a couple of floorboards or, like, panels or something, just a little askew or something like that, really makes the difference.
Yeah. I usually build everything clean and then mess it up.
Mhm.
It's just the way that I like to do it, and it works out really well for me. Different variations in coloring, like, it can make a huge difference. It really is in all the little things.
Yeah.
All right. Well, doesn't look like there's any questions, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I will bid you guys adieu. Enjoy the rest of the panel. Yeah. Thanks
Have
for
fun
having me,
at your
Pooks.
super cool event.
I will.
Make sure to
And if anyone
subscribe
is
to
a
her.
fan
Check
of
out
the
her rooms.
TFO,
She does
the-
rooms on her own.
Oh, yeah,
the last event is about to start as well. But stay here because you need to be here.
You don't need to be
Yeah,
here, but I
be.
appreciate it if you stay.
Yeah,
Attendance is dwindling. If you got any friends who you might think might laugh at some funny stories about failed YouTube videos, invite them now. Invite your friends. Woo! I don't know. We're just trying to be social here. Attendance is dwindling. Anyways, so we are entering the final stretch. We got 40 minutes left in this panel, so I just kind of wanted to now take the time
oh
to
wow.
talk about anecdote. I extended the time because I
Yeah.
like talking. If you couldn't tell, I'm a professional at
Wait.
talking.
I need to see something.
Goose has run away. We've lost Goose
I
on
want-
stage.
I want
Other people
want
won't be
Senor
able to
Butters.
see you holding Senor Butters.
Really? They can't see.
Yeah.
They can't see Senor Butters. That's
No.
A shame. That's a real.
Yes, Goose
that's
flew.
real
Somebody
shame.
in the chat said Goose flew. We got a flying goose.
My apologies.
Not taking questions quite yet. We
my-
will soon.
The goose flew in the coop.
Yes.
My apologies.
So I want to talk about some anecdotes with some videos. I'm first going to talk to Goose. Goose, we did a skit
Really?
a while
Oh
ago
boy.
with, I believe Benny was in it. Yeah, good friend
Yes.
Benny.
Yeah.
He was in it. A couple of other people too. Oh, I apologize. I have a terrible cold, and all of this talking in these two events have killed my voice. I am a professional, though.
Well, I'm facing the wrong way.
Oh, ooh, goose. Anyway, so we did a skit a while ago, where the premise of the skit was I lost my hat. Didn't have my hat on. So if any of you have seen me around for the past couple of years, this is my main outfit. I wear. I got a gray flat cap. That's the item I wear. Well, in this particular skit, I had lost that hat and could not find it. So we had to search around my apartment that I have in Rec Room and find my hat. But because of such, you saw the hair underneath of my hat. And underneath the hat, I have the default flat, smooth hairstyle, just black, nothing fancy. So there was one segment in the skit, Goose, where you had to rub my smooth, bald, hatless, not bald, but hatless head and comment on how smooth it was. We can recreate it. You just go.
So I'd be like, it's so smooth.
Yeah,
And then
it's so
just-
smooth. Something like that.
You just slap me.
I
Oh,
did slap you. I forgot. Yes, and then I would slap Goose at the end for commenting on my smooth head, and that scene should have taken what 10, 15 seconds to record, and I think we spent maybe 25 minutes on you just rubbing my head because you couldn't
no
not
one could
laugh.
through it.
The
No one
entire
could get
crew,
through it.
just because the comments that were being made, because you go real deep and you'd be like, it's so smooth, and you just break out laughing, and I'd break out laughing, and
I just tried like different ways of like saying it, and then
it's so
like people
smooth.
would like
Oh, it was an absolute mess. It was fun. So yes, if you want to experience things like that, join the Discord. We're looking for actors. It's chaos. It's utter chaos. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. I don't know why people trust me.
You wish. You wish.
As chaotic as it may be during recording, the videos more than often come out really well.
I've had a couple of duds. Creative juices have been a little low as of recent, due to medical issues on my end. I've been in the hospital quite a bit. But I'm shaky, but I'm doing okay right now, and getting back into things. I know a new Maker Pen contest is starting in a week. I wanted more time, Rec Room. If you see this, or if anybody's seeing this from Rec Room, a break would have been nice. Maybe take a nap in between contests. I know, we're all scrambling to get a team back together.
Yes.
I know, but anyways, no, we're really excited. Pooks and Company's gonna bring their A game. We've been top 5 a lot. Pooks and Company has made top 5 in the contest a lot. We're getting top 3 this time. I know I said that last time, and the time before that, and the time before that, and the time before that, but this time we're getting top 5. Yes, we're gonna be rich. Gonna be rolling in tokens. It's gonna happen. Mark my words. I shouldn't do that. I was told never to do this. It always turns out bad. It always jinxes it.
Knock on wood. Hey, knock on wood. That's what you gotta do.
Anyways, yes.
Hey, you gotta do a negative. We're gonna do horrible. Or like not. Nobody's even gonna ever see the room.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna
one
visit.
view, one view.
One visit, and it's gonna be my girlfriend. I'm supposed to talk about her. I'm legally contracted to talk about her at the event. She had me sign it. Ash, my partner in crime, Ash, was supposed to be here on the panel, but could not because she has to be up early for work tomorrow. But she appears in a lot of my TikToks. Oh, and I wanted to talk about our TikTok video, Goose, since we've got some time. We've got about half an hour left. Lena, if you can think of anything silly or funny that's happened when we've been working together, and you just want to blurt it out. Anything that comes to mind, go for it. Somebody in the chat that I like TikTok. Yes, I do the talk ticks. I'm hip with the kids. Photo
Pooks 221, go
opportunity. Photo opportunity. Okay, there you go. Pooks dabbing. Hope you got it. I mean, I'm uploading this to YouTube, so you'll be able to grab it then. But
Pooks,
I
Pooks 221. Go follow
make the
that.
TikToks. They're cringe and bad, but I make them. So you can find me,
He
Pooks221.
uses the maid costume a lot.
Yes, so shout out to Meg in the back there. I commissioned Meg to make that stupid maid costume. Commissioned Meg to make it for a room I own, Neko Cafe. Quite popular, used to be on the Moods tab. And I have gotten way too much use out of that costume. I love it. She loves it. It's a meme at this point in my small circle of friends. Well, oh yes, so Goose, you were in my talk tick video, weren't you?
Was
Good.
I?
Wasn't it you?
I don't believe so.
Then who was it?
Oh no! The announcement. You mean the
Yeah,
announcement
the talk
video.
tick video. Yeah,
So,
okay.
it
We're
was-
professional.
it was
We
me.
totally rehearsed this beforehand. We know what we're doing. It's all an illusion to make it seem like we don't know what we're doing. It's all smoke and mirrors.
We're
dude.
professional.
Ooh.
We
Anyways,
are
no, so
professional, don't worry.
I made an announcement video that I was going to be posting videos on TikTok because I didn't have any other video ideas. And I was like, you know what? Maybe somebody will want to know that watches me on YouTube, and then they'll flip over to the TikTok. But I don't really get TikTok. I don't understand it. I still don't understand it, and I've been making videos on the platform for a couple of months now. But you got some audios and some trends, and you do dances. Isn't that one of the dances on the TikToks? I don't know.
I hope so.
You do the whips and the nays. I am totally hip with the kids.
You
Uh,
do-
That's
yeet
pretty rad.
yeet is a word that kids use. I'm hip.
I,
Anyway,
little known fact, yeet was actually originally said back in
I saw this.
96 or
I
something
saw
like
this.
that.
Yeah, I saw it on TikTok. I'm getting news
Yeah.
from TikTok now. Anyways,
See?
Mm.
See? Look at that.
oh jeez. Back to the small anecdote with Goose. We were making TikTok announcement video. I was going to be like, hey guys, I'm on TikTok now. Go follow me. And I really wanted to play up the fact that I had no idea what I was doing on TikTok. So the entire
Did
video,
it well.
it might be the cringiest video I've ever made. On purpose. Total on purpose, terrible cringe, using slang words from like 2010. And I whipped, I think I whipped and nay-nayed in that video as well. Didn't I?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
I know I put my hand
you were
coolly
ju-
on a couch and
yeah.
said, I'm hip with the kids. I know I did that.
No, you were just standing the entire time. Okay. Let me.
Oh,
let me
Oh, professional right here. I'm thinking of
I'll
a completely
just-
different
I'll ju-
video.
I'll just refresh it for.
I'm
I'll
thinking of a
just,
completely different video.
Jog his memory. So the video was him upstairs in our
I remember
lovely, our lovely room, right? And he's in front of a recording.
A
He's
ring
recording
light.
himself.
They call it a
Front-
ring light.
Yeah, in front of a ring
I
light.
found out.
In front of a ring light, and he's just like, he's doing his thing. I walk upstairs, and then he's like, oh yeah, I make the topics, those the things.
That's right. That's
on
right.
the
I'm thinking of a completely
TikTok
different
app.
video.
I remember that
Get
one
it
now.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
now?
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to hold on. Shout out to Cyclone, sporting the maid dress in this instance.
Look at that.
Props to you.
Props.
Props
Big
to you.
props.
You got a shop back there and some donations. If you got a few tokens to spare, got some pretty cool things for sale. All profits go to Pooks and Company to make better videos. That's how this works. Anyways, Ugh, pardon me and my cold. Okay, we got half an hour left. I was thinking we'd start some questions, if any of you happen to have questions. There's not too many people left in our instances out there. But if you got any questions, I think there's enough, not too many people, so we can get some questions in the chat. This was the original ending time of the event, so if you would like to skedaddle, you totally can, nothing against you. But we will be going for another half an hour to
Yeah,
answer
our
some
feelings won't be
questions.
hurt too much.
Got a question from Cole.
Mine will.
Are you sus? I know what sus means. And no, I am not. I can safely say.
He can. What patterns do geese fly in?
You're a goose? What
When
patterns
they
do you fly in?
um whatever I choose. It's more of a day-to-day thing, you know.
There, you heard it here
Sometimes
first from a
sometimes I
goose.
fly. I'm a solo flyer. I like to do some tricks along the way to keep myself entertained. But you see any geese out there?
Ooh.
I know 100% for a fact I'm not the only one. I was before I even came here. I went to the retcon thing, and there were
The,
like two people.
the,
They just pushed up on me and they were like, "Hey, you're not the goose I know. You're not. You're the fake goose." And I'm like, "I'm just trying to get to a panel, man."
I,
Like
I like that description, the deck thing.
the
The
retcon
wreck thing.
thingy
Retcon.
bob, where
We got a question from Go Player 2. Not sure if you're in this instance or another. They say, how do you keep content ideas flowing? That's actually a great question, and I don't really. That is a big issue with most content creators. So getting ideas and keeping ideas is quite difficult. That's why most of the time my ideas come either like when I'm in the shower or 5 in the morning. I'll wake up with a great idea based on like a dream I was having or something. And it's basically based on experiences and things I see, pop culture references, movies. Since I create skits, I'm constantly looking for funny things I could do jokes about puns, plays on words. So,
yeah,
lots
he
of...
normally his his like his video making pattern is pretty consistent, I'd say. 'Cause what you do is you take an idea and you make it to where like the punch is at a very, you know, right there at the end. Boom, there it
Mm-hmm.
is. And then it just like it's such a great build up too because there's so much leading up to it and the like there's no nothing boring
You are flattering
there
me.
like
My videos are
normally.
not that good. I am lazy at
Yeah, but
editing.
I mean like if you look at it from a technical standpoint where like you know what I've been doing, I just look at the script and I'm like, "Oh, okay. It's a pretty like it's decent to follow." Sometimes, with all the once I get through all the spelling mistakes and whatnot,
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
like there are some parts where I'm like,
Reading Shakespeare.
oh, yeah,
Yeah, I got things in there
but
that aren't even words. I'm putting numbers in the middle of
I'm pretty sure.
sentences.
No, I'm pretty sure. Like have been instances where like I read the thing and he's like, "Are you sure that's right?" And I'm like, "I'm
Yeah,
reading
I
it from the
question my own
script."
scripts because they're so bad. Goose will
Yeah,
read it
yeah.
exactly how I say, exactly how written, and I'm like, that's not even close to the right line. Goose, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, look at the script, and I look at the script, and yeah, no, that I'm
There it
just,
is.
yeah, it's
Like,
bad.
I mean, like sometimes it's okay to the point where I can like do the word that like say the word that he wants, but like sometimes it's just whatever you
I'll have
say.
whole sentences that have different meanings. Yeah. Okay, moving on, we got from Bart Sim Bro. How do you keep your content entertaining and get people staying to watch your videos? I read that wrong. It's late. I'm tired. I apologize. So, to get people watching my videos, That's a struggle for anybody, and I'm not a huge creator on YouTube. I'm only hitting 2.5k subs, so I'm very small compared to the other peeps over in Rec Room YouTube land. But the main part is steady stream of videos, so putting videos out frequently will get people to watch your videos, tagging them properly using metadata, so tagging it with the game you're playing and all that back-end stuff on YouTube is very important. Thumbnails, I've learned, extremely important. If you got a catchy thumbnail, especially with a random red circle in it, you'll get people to click on your video. Red circle doesn't even need to be pointed at anything. Just shove a red circle in it. Clickbait. I don't recommend it for, like, actual good thumbnails, but it gets people to click it. But, like, yeah, it's making videos and finding stuff that works. I've had a couple of videos pop off, tens, hundreds, thousands of views on YouTube and TikTok. That's fantastic. And then I have other videos that don't pass 25 views, and you just gotta play around. Sometimes an idea flops, and it could be due to the script execution, or actors weren't feeling their best that day, or it's a whole host of reasons. Editing might not have been on par with other videos, so you just gotta see what works and just kind of experiment. Just kind of keep on going.
And it's never a bad thing to, like, have a bad day or mess things up or whatever.
I will also say,
keep on chugging, you'll be good.
if you can networking is great. So I am good friends with Soul Fox Gaming, Harry Manlegs, Galen Everest over there. Shout out to Galen Everest over on the YouTubes. He's pretty cool. I've worked with him. I've done some. I've Gecko, Wario. I'm missing people. Boathia. Go V Bunny Go. I've done stuff with her. Networking, that helps. Getting your name out there. If you're able to, if they ever have opportunities for the community to be in videos with them, if you know who they are, or other YouTubers, I haven't named nearly all of them, you can be with them, and that gets your name out there, and people will recognize you and remember you. And that's just a really good way to get your name out there. Even creating rooms, or posting on Instagram, Twitter, just getting your name out there. Get people to see you. You just coverage. If 100 people see you, like maybe 5 of them click on your video. That's 5 more clicks than you had before.
Oh yeah, I like this question right here, and I'm sure it's pointed at you. When did you feel like starting to make videos?
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Yeah.
So that's a great question, and I've answered this a lot on my podcast as well that I do. So I started making videos 2.5 years ago with my good friend Circuit Lord, and I don't know if any of you know who he is, but he did a video series called Recbot, where he pretended to be a robot in a rec center and did funny things. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I think I can do that too. So without his knowledge, I started doing it too. Didn't record it or anything, just started having some fun, and I got pretty good at it. And Recbot noticed me and contacted me, and we became quite good friends. And then Recbot and Pooksbot started doing stuff together in rec centers, and we had battles, and we did all kinds of funny stuff, and it was just a blast. And that led its way into my first. That led its way into our first ever big production. I've lost my right hand there for a second. Where I was like, hey, we should do a big production. Now, for some of you who know, back about 2.5 years ago, I was big into doing play space mover performances where I would fly around rec centers like this. I don't know how this is broadcasted in other instances. I don't know what's happening, what you guys see. But I grab the air and move up and down using external programs on SteamVR. And I would dance and fling myself around to the beat of music. And I was like, wouldn't it be really cool if we put together a music video timed to me doing those dances? So, since my friend was amazing at editing and I was good at doing weird dances in the rec center, we combined both of those and came up with our first production, which was a music video of 5 more hours, where I danced, he edited, and it was a blast. And that's what got me hooked. That was it. The acting and the coming up with scenes and doing the step-by-step is what got me into videos. But I have the question, what got Goose into videos? Because you've been with me for a long time. Was that a forceful
boy.
situation? I feel like that might have been a
Um,
forceful situation.
I think okay.
That sounds terrible.
So, I
But
met
not what you
you.
think.
Yeah, I met you, right? And like I started hanging out with. Oh, I started hanging out with Circuit a lot. I hung out
Okay,
with
okay.
Circuit, and then he introduced me to you because he was like, "Hey, I have this friend who does like a lot of stuff. Do you know about him?" And I was like, "Of course I know about him. Like he's a dude who flings himself around. He's great.
That's what I was known
He's the one
for a
who
very long time.
he's the Roomba. He is like
I
he was
did the Roomba joke, yes.
the
Oh,
rec
way
center
back.
Roomba, and and I was like, man, this guy is so cool. And then you to me and you were like, hey, I'm doing a bit of a project. Would you like to help me? And I was like, of course, yeah, I'd do anything, you know. Like I was so like into it. I was like, of course, you know, I'd do anything to help. And then once I did that, I was like, holy cow, this is fun, you know. Like, um, yeah, this is amazing. And then now earlier, once I've gotten my PC and and I got my VR and everything, because I was a PSVR player, we stand united. Um, I don't know how I lasted on that piece of junk, but glad those days are
Hey,
over.
PSVR ain't
But
that bad. I mean, it's debatable.
and you haven't seen
It depends on
anything.
what era.
Yeah, I have never used a PSVR
I had
religiously,
the
so I don't know.
first gen. I had the
Ooh,
first
okay.
gen PSVR. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was so
I can see how that would be, yeah.
yeah, I was like that and I was like, man, this is so fun. But like he can do all this stuff and I can't. So, you know, he's more or less the person who made me want to get a like a PC VR in the first place because he was like flying around and I was like, man, what if I could do that, you know? Cause
And then Rec Room
I
took it
even
away from us.
yeah, Rec Room recently made it so that way.
Rec
If you do a
Room,
two
bring
clip,
back
see you
Play
later.
Space Mover in the Rec Center. I know a lot of people don't want it, but I want it. Anyways.
He wants it.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I do miss that. It was a lot of fun watching you dive through the floor and all sorts of stuff.
Oh,
Oh
I
yeah.
love. I do a
It was
dolphin
just
dive into the floor. It was great.
yeah. It was just a fun little thing, but I mean, I understand why they removed
It's
it.
it
You
was
know,
it
can
was
be
for bug
used
reasons.
malicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, can be used maliciously. So, I mean,
Oh yeah.
Got about 15
whatever.
minutes
I like
left in
that
the
it, you
panel.
know.
Just time checking for all of us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I'm just gonna like I'm glad that they added it for like everything else, but it would have been nice to have
In the
personal
rec center
areas
still.
or rec centers or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
I know our attendance is dwindling because there are other events starting now, but we are still answering some questions.
Yeah,
Invite your
absolutely.
friends if you want for the last bit if they might have some questions. I'll do some photos. I don't know. But yeah, we're dwindling out. It's the end of RecCon. Did
It's
y'all have
late.
fun? Did you all have a
It,
good RecCon? If you have a question, type it in
uh,
the room chat. I will see it no matter what instance you're in. So I saw some people in
Yeah.
our instance raising your hand. That's not quite necessary. Oh, I can't open the chat. There we go. We got a question from Untold VR. I believe current person in this lobby wearing the maid dress. Props to you. What do you find fun in making skits and videos? So I drew inspiration. That's the word I was looking for. I drew inspiration from skit creators on YouTube, like, oh, I'm blanking on every single one of their names. I
oh
am,
boy.
that's great.
For what
But
the
no,
video
Is it like
maker?
is it like
People I look up to on YouTube. I'm blanking on every one of their names. Daniel Thrasher, that's right. He does skit pianos. I've been watching his skit since he started
I know what
doing
you're talking
stuff
about.
a long
Yeah.
time ago,
I
and
know.
and people like him are like, wow, they're funny, they're quick, they're short, they're low production, they got a stupid, silly punchline, and I love that. Makes me laugh. I love puns, and a lot of his videos were puns. And that's what made me wanted to start making videos, and that's why I find it fun, because they're relatable for the most part. They're easy to make. They're just a blast to do. I don't know. That's why I find them fun. Let's see. Let's read through. We've got some messages.
You know
Aether
what?
is
This.
what?
Oh, I'm so sorry. No, I was just gonna say, I don't know if I've ever actually told you, but I used to do YouTube videos long before I met you.
Ah,
I
you
think
didn't.
I still have some of them. I will
Ooh.
regretfully send you some.
Ooh. Okay. Anybody
Yeah.
here? Scour the internet. Do your thing. Find Lena. You brought this upon yourself.
What headsets?
Oh yeah, let's go through our
do we
headsets.
have?
Sure, why not? I'm currently on a Valve Index with Valve Index
Rich
controllers.
Rich man over here, you know.
I'm not. I'm
Please,
in
please,
severe
please
credit
let
card
us
debt. I'm
let us know how troublesome that was
Oh
oh
my lord! Could you please bestow upon us the troubles that
the trouble that I've
someone as
had with my
mighty as you
Valve
have?
Index. So a year and a half ago, I was like, the Valve Index came out. It's the best headset. It's so cool. It's got finger tracking. It's got colorful cameras on the front where you can see your house while you're playing VR. It's got an amazing field of view. This is amazing. I want it. I need it. And I was like, find my money in my bank account. I opened up, moss flew out of my wallet. I'm like, I'ma buy an Index. And so I got an Index. And it's been nothing but trouble. I've had 9 replacements of my right controller, and in fact, it is still broken. It does not vibrate. I have had 3 replacements of my left controller, and the thumbstick is currently broken. I have trouble turning left. I recently replaced the full headset because it snapped in half from normal use. Just the front half and a back half, and they weren't a whole anymore. They were halves, which is not how I don't know those of you on screen mode and such if you know how VR headsets work, but they are generally not 2 pieces. I don't know about you, but I like my VR headsets in 1 piece, but just lots of troubles. I still recommend the Index somewhat. If you're just starting out in VR, Quest 2 is more affordable and easy and plugged into your computer. Get that if you don't want to
I have
waste a
the
lot of
Quest
money
2.
on some shoddy hardware. So Lena's on Quest 2, and Goose over there.
I willingly got myself a Rift S, and it was the
Ooh, I'm so
best.
You
sorry.
worst.
a little late on
It was
the game there.
it was the best worst thing I've ever done. Best thing was because it's great. It's known for being okay, and then the Quest and Quest 2 came out, and I was like, well, okay,
Yeah. Well,
that's cool. But I mean, I still don't regret it. It's now they're now not being developed anymore, so I'm special in 2 different ways. But that I mean, so far, um, my left controller is the only thing that's given me issues, and that's because it's been through severe abuse via Gorilla Tag, including my left hand. But I mean, it was such a battle, to get this thing, because I mean, like, I dead set wanted it to happen. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for you, it like the thing that stuck out to me so much was just how long it took you to actually receive the headset.
It took me
Like,
so long that I made a skit in the amount of time, a full skit start to finish, to about me getting the index really late. Because I ordered my index in the midst of a global pandemic, and I don't know if you've ordered an expensive piece of electronic equipment with specialized parts in the middle of a global pandemic. But apparently, specialized computer parts are hard to get in the middle of a global pandemic. So it took me 5.5 months from the time of ordering to receive my index. 5 months.
Nice.
Who would have thunk that in the middle of a pandemic it was hard to get specialized computer components? Let's
We have
take a
a
look
lot
at
of
the chat.
questions. That, yeah.
Oh!
That recent one
Untold VR.
is-
Untold VR has hit the nail on the head. Have I met any of us in real life? I have not met Goose.
oh,
Would love
boy.
to meet Goose.
Yeah.
Goose seems pretty cool. I
Hey,
haven't met
hey,
Lena. I haven't met Meg, I mean.
I've seen you.
Yes, we've
That
done
was
video
really
calls for
weird.
certain reasons.
We have
Yeah.
we have
We
done that.
video
He has
called for
shown
past
me
projects.
He's shown me his little robot friend.
I do have a
He's
robot
great.
friend, but that's a story for a different day. But Lena over here,
Oh yeah.
just 3 weeks ago, I met Lena at the local Renaissance Fair up in Pennsylvania. Anyone
Yeah.
live in Pennsylvania? I will do fan meetups at the PA Ren Fair. Just putting that out there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
We did meet,
Glad
and
I was
it
able
was
to
great.
get that time.
It was great.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, hey,
Nightshade says, are we
nearby,
allowed to
so-
talk with our mics? You can talk, we just can't really hear you. Because the voice roll-off
Yeah,
is really
the
low. We
voice roll-off is
apologize.
very short. Yeah.
I like this question. Who do you like to record with? Me, Lena, or Meg?
Ooh. This is a dangerous question. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but if I had to rank it,
It's like
I will say I
that's
like
like
working
a,
with...
loaded
I,
gun.
I, if we're just talking about acting, just straight acting, no circuit set building, post-processing, anything. Just acting, gonna go with Goose. Goose, I will say, knows what he's doing, doesn't really fool around, unless I, like, give permission or I'm fooling around myself.
Kind.
Sticks to
Kind
the
of,
script for the
okay.
most part, gets things done. I have a group in my Discord server of trusted actors. You get the role if you've acted with me several times and you've shown promise. You're top of that list. When I'm working on bigger projects, I immediately think, where will Goose fit into this? Where will Meg and Lena fit into this? Because I know that they'll come and they'll work well. They'll show up on time. They'll follow the script. They won't goof off too much.
Yeah, we'll actually be there. Unlike, well, oh my God, there was a very recent one where we just had to wait like an entire hour because we were staffed.
What skit
remember
was
that?
that you were part of?
It was the one where you like instantly got murked.
Was it reinforcements? That one didn't do too well.
Yeah,
I
reinforcements.
had just gotten out of the hospital. That one was rough. But yeah, recent skit called Reinforcements. Did a funny play. What the joke was kind of on the recent Avengers films because it used the same song from Thor. But that's a different story. Yeah, but we had to wait a solid hour because actors didn't show up. So I like working with my trusted actor team because I know they're going to show up and they're vetted and they're going to do the work. And if they don't show up, they're going to tell me in a proper amount of time in advance so I'm not scrambling for an hour to find an actor.
I love this one so much. Untold
What?
is on the nail today. Where did you get your name, Pooks?
I've answered this question so many times. The name comes from a childhood nickname given to me by my mother.
Alright.
That's it. Nothing special. Childhood nickname. I am Pooks
Somebody had
everywhere.
asked- Everywhere.
Every game.
Somebody
You
had
wanna
asked,
find me Pooks221.
do you have any tips for someone who's trying to make an ambitious project?
Ah, yes. Plan 4 times the amount of time you originally think it's going to take. If you think this project is going to take 3 hours, upgrade it to 4 days. If it's ambitious and has a lot of people and a lot of parts, it's going to take longer. You're going to have everything ready. You're going to have everything worked out. You're going to have all your actors, all your people, all your builds good. And you're going to get into it and nothing's going to go right. It's Murphy's Law. It's guaranteed. My Star
definitely.
Trek parodies, I think, have been the biggest projects I've worked on. One of them being just shy of half an hour, which is almost an episode of Star Trek. It took a month and 5 days from start to finish. It was pain. It was torture.
Was that the
I
first,
wanted it done.
Was that the first one or the second one?
The most recent, the Rec Trek Unity, where I redid all of the
Oh.
old sets with the new materials. I completely animated and rendered the Star Trek Discovery intro, but done with Rec Room
Oh,
tools.
yeah.
We had
Yeah.
planets built. It was ridiculous. And the video is amazing, and I'm so proud of it, and I love it. But I wanted it to take about a week and a half, and it took a month and 5 days. So, ambitious projects, plan ahead. Extra time. If you think you have enough time, add more. And you still won't have enough. What
Oh, yeah.
time is it?
And like,
Oh,
don't be
3
afraid
minutes.
to like record the same scene multiple times. Then you have options.
Yes.
Meg had to go
Somebody
to
asked
an
where Meg
event.
was. Meg is currently actually in the final Corrupted event for the Forbidden One with DJ. So if you are a fan of the Forbidden One and like the lore, go check her out over there in the Forbidden One set.
What video was your favorite recording?
Ooh,
yeah.
that's a good question. We all might have different answers to that. Ooh, I have to think. There's been so many. I'm gonna pull up my channel. I've done way too many. I
It's a
mean,
tough
we've been
choice.
trying to reach
Yeah.
you about your car's extended warranty. It's pretty
That one.
good.
That was
one,
gold.
Like
I
that one
love
So-
that one.
for me was just phenomenal. Like I loved just everything about that one. But I also like it's either that one or like Pooks and Goose was fun.
Yes. So I did a sitcom parody. So in primetime sitcoms, there's always laugh tracks and weird transitions where it like shows the front of a house. And I did a parody where I knew I was in a sitcom, but Goose didn't know I was in a sitcom, and I'd always pause and look at the camera for laughter. And Goose was very confused, and the premise was great. We need to make more of those. Pooks and Goose 2, coming soon. You heard it here first, folks. That doesn't mean anything. I've said coming soon to so many projects. I have a Doctor Who video from 2.5 years ago that is still coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, coming soon.
But it's either
Yeah.
that it's either the Car's extended warranty or my first film with you, which was Rec Trek. That one was like, oh my god, that was.
So I will say the first Rec Trek I loved recording, my parody of Star Trek, huge Star Trek fan. If you look at it now, if you watch it now, it's bad. It's so bad.
Oh yeah.
So
I like
that
the
was before
blooper
that was before we had light bulbs, and before we had any kind of creation tools with what's the word? Textures and neon and it was bad. It was bad. But no, I like the set of videos. I did about 7 months ago. I did a set of videos where I did board game puns, and then they were all pretty short. But I would take a board game and do a pun with it, where I would like take board games too seriously. So we played Snakes and Ladders, and I threw all my friends into a pit of snakes with a ladder in it. And I'm like, what do you mean? Why are you screaming? We're playing Snakes and Ladders. And those were the jokes. And there were about 6 of those videos that I made with another friend who doesn't play Rec Room anymore. And those were just a lot of fun. They were stupid, and all of my stuff is stupid, and I don't know why people watch me or subscribe. But you should all subscribe totally, because my content is totally worth watching, and I have not been talking bad about my content for the past hour and a half. I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel like that's like a car dealer that's like, yeah, this this car's got like 500,000 miles. It barely can get down the road, but man, it's a very reliable car. And you
Oh,
should
it's a
buy
good
it.
car.
There's a reason why it has 500,000 miles.
Oh,
right.
jeez.
Oh man.
Yeah, we got a bunch
I
of
believe
nice,
it's,
cool people joining the Discord server. Fantastic! Welcome everybody who joined.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll send a formal message later.
YouTube link is right below
link is
you
in the
guys.
front. It's Pooks221. Pooks 221. Pooks 221.
It's this
Yeah.
one right here. You see that? Yeah, right there.
Yeah. So the panel is
Well,
officially over. I'll take a
Yeah,
couple more
we'll
questions if any of you have good ones. But I would like to thank everyone who
Oh, yeah.
stayed till the very end because you didn't have to. Thank you so much. This went
Yeah, very much
fantastic. Both of my
appreciated.
events today were amazing, and it's because of the amazing community we have here in Rec Room. I can't speak enough. It's
Oh, yeah,
amazing
absolutely.
that I can get up here sitting in my musty old basement and put on this arguably way too expensive piece of electronic equipment and broadcast myself to... At one point, we had hundreds of people. It was great. So cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was
Yeah,
incredible.
definitely. And,
I think we got about 12 people left, but that's to be expected. It's getting late. It's getting late.
Well, yeah, definitely. It's very late. Sunday night, school tomorrow, work,
Yeah.
all that
Boo.
fun
I
stuff. Yeah,
I had
ooh.
to beg my mom for me to let me on here for like the.
And that's
the
another
extra
thing I'll
minutes,
mention. If
so-
any of you want to get into video creation and are working with other people, maturity is important. So Goose is mature, but I know I believe still in grade school, at least in high school.
I am in
So
high school,
still under strict parental rule. Being older myself, that's why I've snagged Lena and Meg, who are captains of their own ship. They're the less
They
tied
have-
down
they-
from
they have-
parents.
They have control. I manage. I manage.
I just turned,
Nah, Goose does good.
what was it, last month? Yeah, last month. The ripe old age of old.
Wow, I know.
I'm 32 now.
I'm above the age of 3
Foot in the
and below
grave.
the age of 236. That's an exact number for you.
Ah, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm at least 3 years old. At least.
At least 3. That's a good
Oh,
answer.
yeah,
I like it.
yeah.
Can't argue with that.
I know one thing.
Uh,
Thank you to everybody who bought something or donated or whatever.
I don't know if Kibbles
Oh,
is
thank
still
you.
here, but
Thank you
Kibbles
guys
has
are awesome.
joined and prefers this from the after party. I don't know why the after party is so chaotic, but I'm appreciative that you liked this better. I heard the after party was pretty
Yeah,
cool though.
definitely.
Ooh.
Oh, Adam Kitty has asked me quite a question. Do you plan to help develop the new Facebook metaverse? I'm not even sure what that is. I'm assuming FB means Facebook. I mean, I have played
Just FB mean Facebook? Yeah.
I'm
oh,
assuming.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have
Yes.
played a surprising amount of Facebook Horizons on my Quest. I don't like to admit it. But when I got
yeah.
15 minutes, I'll slap my Quest on and be like, Facebook Horizons. It's a little weird, it's bumpy, it's getting there. It's definitely not anywhere close to Rec Room yet. But, I mean, I play
yeah.
it.
I know
you can friend me, Pooks221, if you happen to play Facebook Horizons.
There's
I happen-
And I'm the
there's a
same
question
thing
that's
on
been-
Oculus. Lovability now.
There's
Mhm.
a question that's been asked a lot. How many funny Google searches have you done? I'm not sure. Like,
I can't quantify
does
that.
that mean like for
That's
like,
unquantifiable.
ideas? Like, is that how you'd like to see
I will admit I frequently Google myself. I'll admit that.
it?
I'll Google Pooks. Quite often. What are people saying
it-
about
it-
Pooks on the internet? Normally it's
What-
never great, but we don't have to talk about that.
What are our favorite costumes?
You know what?
Favorite
I've never actually
costumes.
looked up Lovability now.
I'll
costumes.
Google it. It'll
Are
probably
we
just bring up your
got like
RecNet
rec
account.
room costumes?
Yeah,
Or-
normally for our skits, he like tells us, "Hey, you just dress up." Like, he gives us a theme, and then he's like, dress up like this, go, shoo, like.
Yeah, I'm not quite
That's-
that dramatic, but yeah, I'm kind of just like,
Yeah,
do the
show
thing,
up.
wear the outfit. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
already
pretty
got the
sure I
whip in
still have-
hand.
Why?
sure-
Whoa!
I'm pretty sure I still have-
I'm not that bad.
No, you're not. It's a lot of fun.
It's very fun.
People are still joining and
but
the
we
event is
have-
over. I don't even know how that's possible.
I don't know either.
I mean, we're still broadcasting, so I don't know. Maybe they're just
Yeah, but people
something
can't
on the
join
back end.
from the event.
Yeah.
I don't know. People can still invite their friends though.
Eh,
Somebody over there, I'm not sure your username, I don't know my watch out,
Oh.
says, what's your favorite theme?
What's your favorite theme?
I don't understand the question.
that's untold.
I'd love to answer it. Theme, what do you mean theme?
as
Like, I don't,
what
I'm
is
sorry. People
do
are
you-
staring
what
at
do you
us.
mean by
I need to do
theme,
something.
sir?
We need to entertain. Who were the people in the trailer for Rec Room version 1? I'm assuming it was the
what do
original
you
Rec Room
mean by
developers.
theme?
So I'm assuming the original trailer for
Costume.
the original Rec Room was probably Nick, Gribbly, Alkmaar, maybe M3. I'm not exactly sure.
He means
yeah.
cost. He means costume.
I will make
theme.
sure to ask M3 when she's on my podcast, hopefully soon, because I'm hopefully going to get Mama Monkey on my podcast.
It means
Oh,
like
costume theme? I don't really use Maker Pen costumes. So that costume that you're currently wearing, the maid dress that is in the back corner of the room, is specifically made for a room that I own, Neko Cafe, because it was on the Moods tab, so it was a pretty popular room. So I don't really...
I liked the Top Hat Clan.
I did a couple of skits where I
forgot
had
about that, yeah.
a group of Top Hat Gang people in the Wild West. Those filming sessions were always awful. That was back with the Sodaron days. I don't even know what happened to Sodaron. Oof.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I remember him.
Remember
yeah,
Soda?
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we had a bunch, we all wore top hats and monocles, and we're like, yeah, we're outlaws, see? We're criminals,
Yeah.
we're gonna, I mean, it was the Wild West, but then the sheriff had a car phone.
I was
don't
just
think,
yeah.
don't think
I
about
was
it too
just
much.
a barkeep.
You were the barkeep. I don't even, I barely remember those filming sessions. If you guys stay here forever, I will stay here forever. I mean, I need to sleep. I have life tomorrow. I don't know about you guys. I'll answer a couple more questions
don't
since
know.
people are still joining.
Yeah. What's your favorite meme? Ooh, I like that.
What's my favorite meme? Ooh. 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 We have veered off the topic content creation completely
Yeah,
at
yeah,
this
we're
point.
gonna have. I just saw it. It piqued my interest.
I don't know if I
I-
have a favorite meme.
I just like the good old shitpost sect, you know, that people.
I don't get internet
anything
culture.
anything that makes you laugh. I've laughed at a red box, and then it says, I don't have any ideas. Just pretend this is funny. I've
Your
genuinely
humor
laughed
is
at that.
broken, Goose. Your humor
That
is
like
broken.
that's how bad it gets. But I mean, I enjoy a good shit post every now and then.
Someone has said ramen in the
yeah.
chat, and now I want ramen noodles.
Ramen.
I
Yeah.
appreciate your comment, but don't like you because
you're a
now I'm
bad
hungry.
person.
I am hungry.
Yeah, I've been hungry this entire show, and
I'm not
now
gonna even go
I
get
have a pack
food.
of
I don't have
ramen
time. I need to go right to sleep
downstairs,
after
yeah.
this. Now I just want ramen noodles.
Don't worry.
Can I make ramen noodles
Captain
at
Obvious.
1 in the morning?
It's
Oh,
I mean,
one.
maybe?
what? No, it's gonna be 1
Yeah.
by the time I'm finished. I got a bunch to do.
No, of course.
Wait.
Busy,
by
busy,
the time
busy.
you're finished with ramen noodles, man.
Yes,
like,
it's gonna take
well,
me
I
an
know.
hour and a half to eat ramen noodles.
Some people asked for selfies, I believe, with
Oh, okay.
the peeps.
I'm gonna walk to the front of the stage and
yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
do
right,
a
yeah.
pose. Pictures
Yeah, well-
now.
We could pose. Oh,
Because this
boy.
also works for people in other instances.